Welcome once again. I'm again here with Lizards and Croix. I'm Joao Caldeira, the founder of the Tarot House in Lisbon, and we are counting with Lizards and Croix in this May here in Portugal for 2 workshops. And in these conversations we are having, we have the opportunity of talking a little bit about the tarot deck that Lisa is creating, the Lizard Saint Croix Tarot. And today we are going to talk a little bit about the Death card and the Ten of Swords. And I'm now asking you, Lisa, what comes first in terms of these cards? What comes to your mind first?
Well, when you asked me to pick 2 cards, I thought, maybe it would be good to pick 2 very difficult cards, because I know when I do readings and something comes up like death, I'm suddenly struggling to find a good meaning. And so I thought, well, maybe this would be interesting for people to see how I've dealt with these difficult cards.
Mm-hmm. And now, how is so? Talk a little bit about the Death card. It's the first one you have close to you, so I'm going to invite you to start talking a little bit about what is the Death card for you, and particularly in your deck.
Okay, well, this death card that I painted is actually quite a happy death card. I was struck a lot of times when people talk about near-death experiences, how they have a good experience. They travel through a tunnel towards the light and they feel peaceful and a loving energy. And I thought, well, we always see death as this great fear, and it's taboo subject sometimes, but actually there's a different way of looking at it, and I thought maybe that's how I would approach it. So when I thought about traveling through a tunnel, I thought it's not going to be a concrete tunnel or a man-made tunnel. It would be a tunnel, a cellular tunnel. So I looked at some scientific drawings and found this drawing, this background, and I thought that was a perfect sort of matrix for somebody to be traveling towards the light. And the light here is actually reminiscent of the full moon again. So it represents great mystery. And the skeleton is very happy. He's kind of doing a dance and holding a key. And the key is a symbol to unlock the mystery. So this is actually one of my favorite cards now. It didn't start off being that way. When I first pulled the card, because I've talked about this before, when I decided to paint my next painting, I just shuffle the cards and pull one. And when I got death, I was like, oh no, but when I completed this card, I actually felt very happy with the result. I felt like it was a new way to see the death card. It was more about change and transformation than, just ending. Of course, the death card is about endings, but there's always something that begins after an ending. And so this is sort of inviting you into the mystery after the ending.
And then you have close to you the Ten of Swords. But before talking about the Ten of Swords, there's something that comes up when I see it, the Death card, that it looks like a sort of a web. The tunnel looks like a web, and that impressed me a lot when I saw the card. What you have there, is that web intentional for you? Is that web has to do with something very intentional?
Yes, it is. As I said before, it kind of symbolizes the DNA spiral or the matrix of life, sort of traveling through something that's, cellular, alive, not just a static tunnel. And I also like the idea of almost having the sky behind it to give a sense of floating and moving through the cosmos.
And then you have the Ten of Spades. The The Ten of Spades, no, the Ten of Swords. I don't know what comes up to me when I talk about Ten of Spades, but the Ten of Swords. And this Ten of Swords, many people connect this Ten of Swords with the idea of death. So probably that was in your mind as well when you choose these two cards to talk about, right?
Yes, in the Rider-Smith-Waite deck, you see the bigger line with 10 swords in its back. So I didn't want to do something quite as final as that, but it is the last card in the sword suite. And I really thought about it, and I thought, well, I could still show ending, but then also show something rising out of that. So I have one figure floating face down, and then the other figure rising up towards the new moon, which I have over there. Mm-hmm. And actually, the figure that's floating on the way down could be a reflection of the figure that's floating up. And once again, it's about the ending of an old paradigm. We've gone through a struggle, maybe a struggle in our minds, dealing with some problem, and we've come to the absolute end of it. We've tired of our victimization, tired of being a martyr, and what can we gather from this experience and rise above it? So the swords are actually holding up the figure, and it's almost like going through therapy. My idea is that you talk about your problems until there's nothing more to talk about. It's all done, and then you can rise up. So again, both these cards, even though I stuck with the difficult meaning of endings and the death of something, there's also this side of it that brings to mind a new beginning, a new start. And what have we, in particular in this card, the Ten of Swords, what have we learned from our experience, our difficult struggle?
And then we have both cards together. What do these both cards together mean to you? If they come up in a reading, how would you connect them? How would you read these two cards together?
Well, for sure, I would see it as something is finished. You've lived one way, and it's time to live a new life. Time to really put behind you what hasn't worked, and to open yourself up to what's ahead. And of course, we don't really know what's ahead. So it's trusting the mystery, trusting. The new moon is a symbol of something that's going to grow, something that's going to expand. So these two cards, even though they're about something really being done and over, they're also about the potential of something new.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so somehow I'll take this inspiration that you give us tonight, and we are hoping that this new life, these new possibilities, come to Tarot all the time, refreshing, renewing the Tarot and the possibilities that we are using. And also this year that is so full of things happening in Tarot. So renewing, giving new credibility to this art of helping, of expressing ourselves, of communicating, of exchanging, an art so intense. And so I want to thank you for this video and this possibility. I don't know if you want to give some more a last message to people today. Something that resumes what you said in this our meeting, our talking tonight.
Well, I would say if you pull difficult cards, don't be afraid of them. Look for some other meaning in them, something that will help you. And so, I used to be wanting to get certain cards, and of course you can't help what you get. It's all chance. But there's always a good meaning. And when I say good, I don't necessarily mean just light and happy, but there's something you can gather from it and learn from it. And so even in these very difficult cards, there is the little germ of something that will help you in life. So that's my intention, is to not to scare people with the cards, but to show the full experience of endings, beginnings.
Yeah, because they are always giving some good things to us. So in time we understand all the good things that each card has for us. Each message that the card has for us, the good and the bad, and we deal with it. Okay, Lisa, it was very, very nice talking to you again, and we'll talk again. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Joao. Bye.